This is Support is Sexy, episode 372, and we're continuing our series on the 12 lessons of sexy. Today is day number 9, and I want you to ask yourself, who is the woman I get to become the woman I want to be? Welcome to Support is Sexy. I'm your host, Elayne Fluker, entrepreneur, author, and founder of Chic Rebellion Media. 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, I interview inspiring women entrepreneurs who share their wins and their lessons to help you take your business and your life to the next level and create something sexy. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Support is Sexy. I'm so excited to have you here. It just would not be the same without you. And today, we're continuing our series on the 12 lessons of sexy. And if you can believe it, we're already up to day number 9. And today I have a question for you, or a question actually that I want you to ask yourself. Even look in the mirror if you have to. Say to yourself, who is the woman I get to become the woman I want to be? And I will tell you, for me, this is not only a lesson that I learned this year, but it is a daily mantra. As I mentioned earlier in our series in episode number 365, live the question. And this is one of the questions that I make sure to live. Who is the woman I get to become the woman I want to be? And now you might be saying, okay, I don't understand. What does this mean? For me, this means it makes me make a conscious choice of whether the decisions I make align with the woman I want to become or the woman I am. Now, of course, I want to make decisions that align with who I am. But when I'm thinking about what I want to create in the world, the impact that I hope to make, the impact that I hope to have on other people and how I hope to encourage them, empower them, all of the things that are part of my goals and really my dreams, I think about who is the woman that is able to do those things. It's in me now, but how can I really embody it? How can I become the woman who is already able to do those things? So not waiting until I get to the point where I feel like, okay, now I've done this, this, and this. Now I can become that woman. How can I become that woman now? Do the things that that woman would do now. That's within my power. The things that I would do or that woman would do now when I envision myself, if I look on my vision board or during my meditation or whatever it is, when you're thinking about those things, you're usually thinking about, or I would advise, I won't say should, I would advise, think about who is the person you have to become now to become the woman you want to be. Does that make sense? So here's an example. If I want to become a woman who runs an online business that generates 6 figures a month, which I mentioned to you in an earlier episode is actually a goal of mine, 6 figures a month, then I have to become that woman now. And it's not even about the money as much as it is about feeling empowered in my position, my standing in the business, my level of what I want to be in my success, my ability to do some other things for other people, other entrepreneurs, other women, of course. Support is sexy. So I have a lot of other things that I want to do. And this is a goal that I set for myself because you need a measurable goal. This is one of my goals. So when I say this is what I want to do, the woman I want to become who runs a successful online business that generates 6 figures a month, at least 6 figures a month, well, who is the woman I have to become now in order to do that? And how do I do that? For me, the ways I become that woman now is by 1, smartly managing the money that I do have now, because I'm not at 6 figures a month now, but whatever I'm making now, how can I manage that money wisely? Because to me, a woman who runs a successful online business that generates at least 6 figures a month manages her money well. Also, by taking seriously the business that I do have. Sometimes we think I'll wait until I get this size or I'll wait until I get this certain amount of attention from the public before I take my business seriously or be consistent in my business. Well, I just had a great conversation with some women about consistency, and it is the thing that you can do now. I have to become that woman now. Also, by studying and learning all I can from entrepreneurs who are already at that level. I listen to a lot of great podcasts. It doesn't even have to be people I know personally. Great podcasts, great books. What are they doing? What can I model that aligns with who I am as a person and that aligns with who I want to become? How can I tap into those resources, that information, that insight, that experience, and become that woman now? We often wait to become the thing. I want to encourage you to become the thing now so you can be the person you envision. Then you can do what that person does and have what you want. Make sense? Now, this all follows an important distinction, be, do, have, which I first heard about in Momentum, which I mention often. Momentum is a personal development workshop that I attended in New York in 2015, and it was a game changer for me. And based on what I've done with a little research, the person who originated this term or early mentions of it was the motivational speaker Zig Ziglar. And he said, quote, "You've got to be before you can do, and you have to do before you can have," end quote. Now, I will tell you the simplest explanation that I read of the be, do, have paradigm is from a site called yourdailylifecoach.com, which I found recently by searching online. It's not necessarily a site I endorse. I've never been there before, but when I was looking for a good explanation to share with you all, I really thought this one resonated with what I believe be, do, have means. The site says, quote, "Most people operate on this belief system. If I do what I need to do, I'll get what I want to have. Then I can be the person I've always dreamt of being. The person you have been is not going to think, act, and react in a way that is going to get you to your goal. Change the process. Be the person who you would be if you already had achieved your goal. Then you will do the things that a successful person would do, which will allow you to have exactly what you want," end quote. And the author Neil Donald Walsh, who wrote the book Conversations with God, says it this way: "When you come from a state of being, you need to have nothing in order to begin the process. You simply select, quite arbitrarily, a state of being, and then come from that place in everything you think, say, and do. But because you are thinking, saying, and doing what only a person who is being happy, contented, and whatever thinks, says, and does, the things that a happy, contented person winds up having come to you automatically," end quote. So in other words, I will say in the simplest term, start being today and ask yourself, who is the woman I get to become the woman I want to be? And notice in the language, language is very important, not only because I'm an English major and a writer and I care very much about words, but words mean a lot. Language means everything. So instead of saying, who is the woman I have to become, it's a get to, not a have to. Another lesson from Momentum. You get to become this person. It's not that you have to do this, because you don't have to really do anything, but you get to become the woman you want to be now. You get to be that woman today. You do not have to wait. You might not have all of the resources. You might not have all of the quote unquote things. You might not have all of the education. Whatever you think you need, you might not have those things, but how do you be that woman today? And here's a bonus tip. Have someone around you who will call you out for who you are being in the moment, because sometimes we're not honest with ourselves. Who are you being now? Is who you're being now the thing that's holding you back from the woman you want to become? Is who you're being now holding you back from the woman you want to become? And I will tell you, one of the most valuable, powerful assets that I receive from my time in Momentum, which I talk about all the time, is my buddy and my brother, Lamont, who is the king of asking me whenever we talk, who are you being right now? That's his favorite thing. Who are you being right now? And it's one of those questions that both infuriates me, but it always makes me check myself, because usually I'm not being who I need to be in that moment. I'm not being who I get to be to become the woman I want to become. And he knows that, and he checks me on that. So get a Lamont in your life, because support is sexy, or for now at least, make sure you check yourself on who you're being. And remember, you get to decide. No one else can decide this. People might try to put labels on you and tell you who you are, or you'll never be this, or how can you get that, because you don't, they're doing the have, do, be, as opposed to be, do, have. They're thinking, well, you don't have this, you don't have that. No, you're going to start from a place of being. You get to decide. Think of all the people, Tiffany Haddish, love her, is such a great example of this. She decided she was going to be a comedian. She was going to perform. She was at bar mitzvahs. She was an energy producer. I mentioned this recently in another episode. Just her story is so incredible. She talks about how she was really being those things. She had a vision for herself and she started being what she thought a successful comedian would be. She started thinking of herself that way and really doing all of those things before the moment came where she was considered by everyone else to be successful. But she was already being that before we all took notice. Make sense? So how can you be who you need to be, who you get to be now so you can be, do, and have? Who is the woman you get to become the woman you want to be? All right, so hopefully that lesson makes sense. Make sure you give me some feedback on social media at Support is Sexy, at Elayne Fluker. If you want to share anything with me, Elayne at ElayneFluker.com. You know I love to hear from you. Even better than all of that, or in addition to all of that, leave a review. I'd love to hear a review from you. I have to read the reviews again. I haven't done that in a couple of weeks. We got into some other things, but I have to make sure that I share your reviews. I read them. I have to make sure I share them, but I would love a review from you to hear what you think about the podcast, the series that we're doing right now, or all year. Your feedback means everything. Now, before you go, I do want to share with you a free gift that we have from one of our newest partners. If you love audiobooks as much as I do, you're going to be excited about this. Audible is offering you, as a Support is Sexy listener, a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook to get you started with using their services. To find out more and to sign up, go to freesupportissexybook.com now, and you'll have access to more than 180 titles for free for 30 days, plus get your free download. That's freesupportissexybook.com. All right, so thank you as always for listening. As I always say, it would not be the same without you. Again, leave that review. Let me know what you think. And make sure you subscribe. I don't want you to miss an episode. Putting a lot of work in here. Super excited about the women and interviews that we have coming up. But I want you to be subscribed so you don't miss it. You download it, it'll be there on your phone. So make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And remember, as always, you deserve support. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.